Is it fun? Yeah. Yeah, this is red. Oh, that's red. Maybe you had to turn it up.
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki
Jai.
Hari all glory to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Nirvasesha Shandivan Pastachade Sutara chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam udiraya Nasta prayeshu abadresu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavat uttama sloke Bhaktir bhagavati naistiki By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavad, by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed to nil. And thus, loving service unto the glorious Lord, whose praise with transcendental hymns becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, we first offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, unto Nayana Rishi, the supermost human being, Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and Srila Vyasadeva, the author. So today is the 21st text of the first chapter, second canto, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Second chapter. Second chapter,
excuse me. No, first chapter.
First chapter.
Yeah, first chapter.
Oh, it's wrong on
Just
the
wrote it
board.
down.
Wrote it down wrong on the board. Yeah, okay, so it's text 21, chapter 1, canto 2, first steps in God realization. Please repeat. Yashyam Sundaryamanayam Yashyam Sundaryamanayam Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha Asru Sampajite Yoga Asu Sampajite Yoga.
Is that first word ASU?
A emphasized SU.
Okay.
And for those who can pronounce it, the S has a slash over the top. Okay. Asu Sampajite Yoga. Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshitaha Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshitaha Yashyam Sandaryamanayam Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha Asru Sampajite Yoga Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshitaha Yashyam Sandaryamanayam Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha Asu Sampajite Yoga Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshitaha Yashyam Sandaryamanayam Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha Asru Sampajite Yoga Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshitaha. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yasyam Sandoryamanayam
Yashram Sandaramanayam
Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha
Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha
Ashu Sampadhyate Yoga
Ashu Sampajate Yoga
Ashrayam Bhajram Ikshataha
Ashraya Bhadramishitaha
Yasyam Sandaramanayam
Yashyam Sandaramanayam
Yogino Bhakti Lakshana
Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha
Ashu Sampajate Yoga
Ashru Sampajate Yoga
Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshata
Ashrayam Bhadramishitaha. Ladies.
Yasyam Sandaramanayam
Yashram Sandaramanayam
Yogino Bhakti Sakshana
Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha
Ashru Sampajate Yoga
Ashu Sampajate Yoga
Ashrayam Bhadramikshata
Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshataha
Yasham Sandaramanayam
Yasham Sandaramanayam
Yogino Bhakti Lakshana
Yogino Bhakti Lakshanaha
Ashu Sampadaye Yoga
Asru Sampajate Yoga
Asrayam Bhadyam Ishataha
Ashrayam Bhadram Ikshataha. Anyone else? Yashyam by systematic remembrance. Sandaryamanayam and thus being fixed in the habit of Yoginaha, the mystics, Bhakti Lakshanaha, being practiced to the devotional system. Asru, very soon. Sampajate, attain success. Yogaha, connection by devotional service. Asrayam, under the shelter of. Bhadram, the all good. Ikshataha, which seeing that. O king, by the system of remembrance and by being fixed in the habit of seeing the all good personal conception of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotional service to the Lord under his direct shelter. Please repeat. O King, by this system of remembrance, and by being fixed in the habit of seeing the all good personal conception of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotional service to the Lord under his direct shelter. Srila Prabhupada's divine purport. Success of mystic performances is achieved only by the help of the devotional attitude. Pantheism, or the system of feeling the presence of the Almighty everywhere, is a sort of training of the mind to become accustomed to the devotional conception. And it is this devotional attitude of the mystic that makes possible the successful termination of such mystic attempts. One is not, however, elevated to such a successful status without the tinge of mixture in devotional service. The devotional atmosphere created by pantheistic vision develops into devotional service and latter days. And that is the only benefit for the impersonalist. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 5, that the impersonal way of self-realization is more troublesome because it reaches the goal in an indirect way. Although the impersonalist also becomes obsessed with the personal feature of the Lord after a long time. Let me repeat that last sentence. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 5, that the impersonal way of self-realization is more troublesome because it reaches the goal in an indirect way. Although the impersonalist also becomes obsessed with the personal feature of the Lord after a long time. Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, who is following the order of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, preaching the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, eradicating the impersonal and voidistic points of view in the Western world. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, in the verse, again, it's a continuation from yesterday's verse, describing the importance of remembering Krishna, remembering the Lord. And specifically it says today, by being fixed in the habit of seeing the all-good conception of the Lord. This training is very important for the disciple. Initially, when someone comes to the temple, they may come from a good devotee family and have a lot of training. And already be used to seeing the personal conception of the Lord. And be able to continue their progress in devotional service. On the other hand, many times we get a lot of disciples, especially from the Western countries, who aren't used to seeing the personal conception of the Lord. Some of them may have a personal belief, but they're not used to seeing a personal conception. And a lot of them don't even have a personal belief. They have more of an impersonal belief. Or they have, as Prabhupada was talking about, a pantheistic view. Intuition or desire to perceive the absolute truth everywhere and in everything. But a genuine lack of a conception of the personal feature of God. So when we take the Bhakti Yoga, one of the initial features of the training is that one has to come to the temple in the morning This is Bhakti Yoga. It's not the impersonal system of yoga. And the impersonal system of yoga, they also waking up early in the morning. They also refraining from illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, and intoxication. At least in a strict system. And Western yoga schools, that's not emphasized so much. You pay your money and you go to class. And what you do in the private life, people aren't concerned with. But, speaking about a strict line of disciplic succession coming from one of the acharyas, and the impersonal system comes from Adi Sankaracharya, the incarnation of Lord Shiva. They're very strict about following the regulative principles. So, that's emphasized. And, they perform asanas and breathing exercises, and then they practice controlling the mind through meditation on some generally Vedic aphorism or Vedic conception, understanding Brahman, or the all-pervasive, impersonal Jyoti, or light. Whereas in our Bhakti Yoga system, we come to the temple early in the morning, and the very first thing we do is see the personal conception of the Lord. One is meant to get used to it. And if you come from a sort of impersonal background, then that's not always the most pleasing thing. Training is not always pleasing. Did anybody go to military boot camp? It's not always pleasing. Some people take pleasure in it, usually some sort of athletic guy who they make the leader of the pack, and he's spouting out the orders that the sergeant's spouting out to him. And they may take pleasure in it. Like I remember Nitya Shastra's eldest son. He had been through boot camp in the Air Force, and then he rejoined to become an Army Ranger. He joined the Army next time around. And he really enjoyed boot camp. I mean, he would somehow, if he had his phone in his back pocket, he would call his wife and he'd say, "Hey, you won't believe what they have us do now. We're crawling under this barbed wire they're shooting at us, for training." So he kind of enjoyed it, A lot of people, are there so that they can get a college education. They're there to try to gain some discipline in life, or to get ahead economically, or they want some training in some field, and it's one of the best ways to do it. So, especially a kid who's used to getting up late, and most kids have been through 12 years of school, so most of them have to catch the school bus anywhere from 6 to 7 in the morning. So they're waking up anytime from 5:30 onward, depending on what school they go to and what time it opens. So they already have some training as far as, getting up in the morning, and a lot of academic training. I don't always approve of having to sit in a chair for 12 years, especially with little recreation. When I went to school, there was always an hour of recreation. And, there was a lot of moving around. But nowadays they sit in a chair a lot, so it's a lot of simply academic work. And I'm sure teachers do their best to make it pleasing, but when you're trying to please 30 kids, somebody sometimes gets left out, because they don't have that personal connection so well with the person in charge. Anyhow, some people, it's not always the best, it's not always the most fun thing for them to do. And the military is trying to make a man out of kids, so, that's not always the fun thing to do too. To be, be taken from being a teenager or a young man and being made into a man that's responsible for people's lives and responsible for property and getting something done according to a line of disciplic succession coming down from the highest discipline, the highest commander. So there's the same in spiritual life, in the line of disciplic succession, and whether you're Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, or whatever, there's a line of disciplic succession, and one has to follow it. It's like Dr. Bellary gave me his book, The Pilgrim, and so the pilgrim's on the pilgrimage, and he's following the line of disciplic succession. He has his teacher, which comes in the line of disciplic succession, and he's espousing a particular set of books in line of disciplic succession of previous masters. And at least to the extent that I read, he didn't dare step over that line, but he was very obedient to what they had to say. So, similarly, the first thing, Srila Prabhupada, the Swami, who manages our line of disciplic succession in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and his disciples, from the Brahmanas to sannyasis, Brahmanas, governing board commissioners, temple presidents, temple commanders, whatever it may be, in line of disciplic succession, the first thing the disciple was told to do is come to the temple and see a personal conception of the Lord. You have to get used to it. Most people in the West, they may have a difficult time. They may think, they may think it's just a statue, which to a Hindu family may be, very, how do I say it, heretical, a heresy. It'd be a heresy. Is that how I say it? Heresy. Just like to Christians to say that, well, I'm not sure if Christ is a historical figure. Oh man, that's heresy. So, but the point is that a person is here and they have to understand what the discipline is all about. A person may not see the value of crawling under barbed wire in the military if all I'm going to be is an accountant. And there are a lot of accountants in the military. They sit behind a desk and they manage some inventory. What is the point of crawling under barbed wire? But that's the discipline, so that you learn to follow the order in the line of disciplic succession. So, we gently explain that, Krishna is a person. Krishna, since time immemorial, he has given a system of worship that exceeds the time, place, and circumstances where Abraham, walked out of Babylon and became the founder of, the Judeo-Christian heritage. Lord Krishna, spoke these teachings 5,000 years ago to Uddhava. These teachings came along with Vishnu through his breathing into the universe, to the first Brahmins, who were the first people in the universe. The sons of Brahma were the original Brahmanas. Brahmanas teach people how to worship God and gain their relationship back with the Supreme Personality of God. So this system of worship has been there, and we try to teach a person, if a person has a pantheistic belief and believes that the absolute truth is everywhere, then we have to understand that the personality of Godhead is everywhere. It's not very difficult for him to incarnate within his statue or picture, should he desire. And he's given a system of worship whereby the devotees in line of disciplic succession, the Brahmanas, can call him to appear within a statue or picture for the worship of the disciples, so that they can make advancement in spiritual life. Otherwise, if we were to cook for Krishna and just put it there for the air, put it there and say, Krishna, you're everywhere, eat it, but yet we never learn anything about Krishna's beautiful face, then what do we know about God? It's like Gokula was giving a class a few days ago, and he was quoting Srila Prabhupada, asking a person what they knew about God. First of all, he described what he knew about God. You know, God wears beautiful yellow dhoti, yellow cloth, looks like lightning. And he has a wonderful belt and helmet and earrings, shark earrings at that. And he's got beautiful toe rings, and he carries a disc that he employs against the demons, those who desire to disobey his orders within the world. And Prabhupada said, so what do you know about God? And if the person doesn't know anything, then maybe you should lend an ear to us. Maybe you should listen. So, we're not trying to trick people into becoming devotees of Krishna. We're very frank. First thing in the morning, if you stay here, you're supposed to come see Krishna. Because we have to learn that Krishna is a person. And he has a personal form. And those forms have transcendental names that are vibrations that are absolutely none different from that form. And these forms and names have unlimited transcendental pastimes and qualities and paraphernalia and entourage that go along with them. And we have to learn all these things because these things are transcendental. And consequently, you can learn to meditate by meditating on these things. And that meditation will take you there. Whereas if we just learn to meditate upon the light of a candle or whatever, we're very fortunate if it takes us to the light. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that it is a very troublesome path. Very troublesome path. He recommends the path of bhakti. Bhakti is not so troublesome when one, has respect for the authority, for the spiritual master. And they can make rapid advancement. Otherwise, if one is always challenging, that may be all right so long as a person isn't so offensive. Like, just to use another gross example, one may be employed at Walmart, and one may question the manager. If we put that there, I just know people are going to rip it off. And the manager would say, no, don't worry about it. I always put it there. I have a camera on it at every moment. He may not be bothered by somebody questioning, but if it gets to a point to where that person not only is questioning, but is going behind his back and telling other employees, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know how he got the job. And he's telling everybody this until it gets back to that person's superior. Then you can understand that there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. Same in the military, there will be a problem. The same in the line of discipline succession. There will be a problem. The difference between the military and Walmart and the line of discipline succession is that it's ultimately ruled or controlled by Krishna. And he knows what's in the heart of everyone. And no one can escape. No one can escape. So if he sees the genuine sincerity of a person, then he can reward them with devotion. And if he sees that someone is not sincere, then he can try to help them. But again, it's a discipline. There's a discipline that we follow. Can you imagine having to pay to go to a yoga school where after the Mangalati, then you had to do a Tulsi Puja, then you had to chant some mantras, then you had to chant japa for the next hour and 45 minutes. I mean, even the devotees can't generally stay in one place. What to speak about the non-devotees. One time we had a guy from one of these yoga schools who came, and he was really nice. The guy was actually a great musician. He can really sing about, being great. He's great. He's a professional musician. Great keyboard player, Anyway, he chanted japa with me the whole morning. But later I lamented because I had a habit of chanting a little loud, and I thought, I must have really bothered him, Because he was mostly silently meditating the whole time. I was chanting japa and he was meditating. So, anyhow, I hope he made some advancement, He was a nice, polite gentleman. I haven't seen much of him. I don't know if he was actually from Montana, but he was in New Orleans. He may have his own yoga school now. I never really kept track of him. So then, after all of that, then we worship the spiritual master. Most people in the West, they're trained to worship once a week. To worship every day can get monotonous for someone who doesn't have some spontaneity of love of Godhead in that way. The common person just, their training is getting out and doing some work to earn money. That's what motivates the mass of people, so that they can pay for their family. So to have to worship on a daily basis like that every morning, that's just the morning, can become monotonous for a lot of people who don't develop the devotion. Therefore, our Bhakti Yoga system is very diverse, working with every individual, trying to help them on the path according to their needs, because they all have needs. Somebody may have a mode that is suited for a day of devotion, many days of the week, if not every day of the week, all month long and all year long. And others may find some other way to help Guru and Guranga. They may be itching to get out and do something. I can remember when I was here sometime in the 1980s, I think it was. I was in Pujari, and as a Pujari, because you're always understaffed, at all of our temples in the West. It's not like at Mayapur, where you can establish so many things because nothing's going to feel like it's lost any manpower because there's so much manpower. Anyway, the Pujari then, you cooked, and plus you made the offering and you did the arti, and then you put it all out for the devotees to eat. So I was just, your devotee, it's not only trained to do this worship and to understand the personal conception of God, but we get this inspiration from the spiritual master, from Srila Prabhupada down to line of disciple succession, to serve the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So most devotees back in those days were inspired to go out and sell books because that's what Prabhupada emphasized. So I'm thinking, sometimes you start to get itchy. You're looking, but you discipline yourself. As a brahmachari, as a student, it's like a guy, in boot camp, except now you're not just a beginner. You're somebody with some stripes on their shoulders, and you're expected to be carrying out a post with responsibility. So, but you still, you got that, what can I do to help more type of attitude. And one day over here, the temple president talking about, God, man, we just don't have enough money. And I had previous training of doing other things that brought money to the temple. I could go out and sell incense. So I said, well, his name was, I said, well, I can go out this weekend and sell some incense. I said, but you got to get things covered here, He said, all right, I'll have my wife do it or something, So I went out and I brought back some money, and then next thing you know, again, I was doing it 5-6 days a week, and staying back for the Sunday feast. Usually cooking it. We were very frugal. So on Saturday nights, I would stop and buy a case of tomatoes with the incense money, sort of secretly, because we were really frugal. And that way, we could cook the tomatoes down with some vegetables and and have a feast. So anyway, but the point is that people can execute in different ways to satisfy the mission of the Lord. That's the point. Based upon their needs or the organization's needs and somebody's ability. I mean, we know the greatness of the devotees who went out and sold so many books like Vaisheshika. Yeah. I mean, he sold books all the time, and now, he's the minister of book distribution in North America, and he's a really great trainer. I mean, he can really train people to develop a pure habit of goodness in distributing Srila Prabhupada's books to everyone in a very congenial way. I mean, he's the most congenial person to meet anyone on the street and to offer them Srila Prabhupada's books. Expert at it. At the same time, really a pucka pundit. Really knows the Shastra. Loves to chant the slokas. Wonderful kirtanita. So, there's that service. And then what to speak about form, what did Prabhupada tell the devotees in New Vrindavan? They said, Prabhupada, I don't have enough time to go to Bhagavad Gita class. I got to be baling hay. Prabhupada said, but you're living Bhagavad Gita class. You're living Bhagavad Gita class. When we came here, the early devotees who came here, Dviguja and Mahendranath, myself, whoever it was, it was mainly the brahmacharis they would send out here at that time. There wasn't any families until Nityananda stayed with his family. We wanted to live like Krishna in Vrindavan. We got tired of living in the city, and you're reading Krishna book, and we're thinking, man, that's great. What if we could live like that? God, out in the country, you don't have to worry about the neighbor getting angry because you're chanting too loud. We would sometimes chant pretty loud. And Prabhupada one time said, if you need to chant loud, then go to the mountains. Because sometimes people chant loud and they bother everybody else. Nobody else can chant. That's why they have to leave, because somebody's chanting so loud. So the neighbors would sometimes complain. So we would think, man, we could go, we have our own place, nobody would be bothered. We can have cows, we can grow food. It could be great, And so that's what we were here for living like Krishna, living in Vrindavan. And Prabhupada liked that. And, he liked it as much as all the other devotees serving him, doing other things that, for him was the way to change the world. Book distribution. He gave the example of the Communist Party passing out literature to people and bringing bread. So we would pass out literature and bring prasad. So he utilized the same strategy. Distribute the literature, give people the books, let them read, get an intellectual understanding. Then they may be able to stand before the deities, at least with an intellectual understanding. Otherwise, without that, it may be difficult. People may come and be polite. Hindu families, it's like the norm. It's like them going to church. So, but the non-Hindu families, especially in the West, everybody coming from the Judeo-Christian background, and with the speak of Islam, everybody coming from those lines that come from Abraham, it's considered idolatry. And it's against their religion. So they may have a problem until they have an intellectual understanding, at least. I can remember when I invited my mother to come to my initiation. I couldn't stop at thinking, what is she going to do when she sees Lord Jagannath? I was just fretting. And then when I found out she could bring some of the neighbors, I thought, oh my God. I didn't know what they were going to think, I was truly worried about it. Anyway, they were polite. I can't imagine what they said on the way home. But they were polite there, So, we try to help people according to their needs, but our Guru gave us a program for developing love of Krishna through a personal conception. That's being taught right here in these pages. That developing, becoming fixed in the habit of seeing the all-good personal conception of the Lord. It takes one out of that impersonal conception. It brings one into the realm that, yes, God has a transcendental body, not like my body or our bodies that break down on us. We go to war and God knows how you come back. If you're not physically disabled, you may be mentally disabled. It's such a gruesome occupation. Nobody's trained from the time they're a kid. You train for 3 months and sent out like your, what do they call them? Gurkhas? Gurkhas, who are trained from the time they're a kid. When the British gave India independence, it was with the condition that the Gurkhas still could serve in their military as mercenaries. Because they were such a vital part of their military. It's like having, if something like having the Navy commandos, I forget what they call them all, Army Rangers, the SEALs. They're an elite group of soldiers that fear nothing and are used to seeing blood. And, people, mangled. And it's like in Vedic times it was said that Kshatriya women, they give birth knowing their sons will die in battle. So, there are people who are trained like that from the time of birth. Not just ordinary people. So that, it can affect ordinary people to be sent off to a place where, there's a lot of guerrilla type of fighting, amongst humanity for, pieces of property. So, anyhow, our training is there to help people, get out of this bodily conception of life, understand that they are a spiritual being, just like God, and just like God has a spiritual body, we also have a spiritual body. But how do we get it back? How can we get it back? We can get it back by meditating on God's spiritual body. It's not difficult when we understand the personal conception. How, just like we can make a picture of anybody's material body, we can make a statue of anybody's material body. And you don't appreciate if somebody defames a picture of your mom, because that's your mom, even though that's just the material body. So in the same way, if God is really a God who controls the universe, He can't have a picture. He doesn't have a picture. He doesn't have a profile. Ordinary people have a profile even in humanity, but God cannot. It's just that we've forgotten Him for so long. That's when they questioned Srila Prabhupada. Why have you come here? Prabhupada said, to teach you what you have forgotten. talk about Jesus' Father, and they've made it synonymous with Jesus. But is that God's only form? God is limited. He's limited to one pastime, one form. You know, is that the only way he ever looks? And he's only saved the Hebrew people? I mean, you know, what happened to the Chinese people? You know, so, no, God has an unlimitedly beautiful transcendental form that can expand into unlimited transcendental forms with even different features. And they all serve by their own devotees who love them. And so, you know, we can meditate upon that transcendental form of the Lord that we become most attached to. In course of time, but we have to go through line of disciplic succession, you know, the guru helping one on the path, teach one, you know, how to meet their Easter day or the Lord of their heart. So, it's, I think, 8:30. Yeah, it is, exactly. So I'll stop here unless there's a comment or a question. Mother Christian?
When you were talking about the devotees, what came to my mind was devotees, they have remembrances of Srila Prabhupada, and I think it was a mother devotee, Rasigat, and she was talking about how she could see Srila Prabhupada. It was when the installation of Krishna Balaram and the opening of the temple there, and she could see how Prabhupada was praying, and when he was, but there was a wall, she could see it was full of power, but then she saw this light coming, streaming down from where he was praying. And another thing was, there was this other devotee who was having given his remembrance, and he was bringing the deities back from where they were, as soon as he was on the outskirts or where he was, you know, with Krishna and dear Vrindavan, he with all the peacocks started crying. All over him, he was like feeling that, like, whoa. Well, another thing I can remember too about Prabhupada, how he was called the Jagya, the person in charge of the Jagya, because he wanted to have these local Brahmanas come, because if not, then people wouldn't respect the Krishna Balaram Mandir, they wouldn't, you know, come, and so he had all that happen. But you could see how he was just tolerating, and you could see his face and whole composure, the whole situation, because he was saying to the devotees that the 24 hour, the kirtan, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra actually installed the deities there.
Wow. There's also when he left the deities with the devotees in Australia, he prayed to the Lord because he was leaving them with, you know, neophyte devotees. And, you know, they took care of him.
Yeah,
They're still taking care of him.
you see, they improved as he came back the next time. And he was could see the potency of Krishna consciousness and taking care of the deities, how he was very pleased with the boys, because they didn't just maintain, they also improved.
And Prabhupada would love to see that, you know, devotees that stayed and did their service. When you go on pilgrimage to India, they bring you around different temples. So at that time you see some old babas, some old pujaris. I mean, old people, you know, 60 to 80, 90 years old. Yeah, they're all there serving that little deity in the temple, and they've done that most of their life, you know. And they bring you to this place of pilgrimage, and, you know, he gives you a little charmamrita or a little prasadam, like that, you know, that, you know, he's cooked it for the deity. See that all the time. Or you go to a big temple where there's a whole staff of Brahmins. I went to Bhakti Siddhanta, that main temple he had, one way he said, it's better that I sell the marble than print books, because now they're fighting over the rooms. So those rooms actually go around there were rooms all upstairs. It's like if this building was a lower floor and you had rooms all around on the upstairs. Those are those rooms. Now they're all occupied by at least 5 or 6 different acharyas that have come after Bhakti Siddhanta, and they've all, each of them left their bodies in the room that they still worship them. So, but you have a lot of discipline succession where you have young people there who are doing kirtan and doing the majority work, and since Bhakti Siddhanta's time on down to present day. Bhakti Siddhanta left the world in 1936. So here it is, 2019. And there's still a lot of, they're still maintaining, taking care of that temple, and there was, young guys there doing kirtan, and a structure of Brahmins and people who have maintained that facility for all these years. Prabhupada, he liked to see that. He didn't take pleasure in people just coming and going. Another pretty.
Thinking about this word pantheism,
Yeah.
that to non-devotees, I'm not really, I'm a little hazy on what it means. I think it means that just this God is in nature or something like that, but it doesn't have an idea of God being transcendental. Just
They have no idea of the spiritual world, Prabhupada said yesterday. They don't have an idea of transcendence beyond this world, but they've seen God within this world.
So that it seemed like in the purport there was like differentiating between almost like 2 kinds of pantheism, like if you just are really impersonal pantheistic, that doesn't do you any good, or is that, am I understanding it right?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Saying, but when it's mixed with devotion, then that will help them make advancement.
So maybe one could just say, well, there's got to be no devotion or anything, but God is present in everything, and this doesn't, maybe it's like that.
Maybe you can look up that Greek word P-A-N-P-N. I wanted yesterday because I couldn't find it in the dictionary. I checked in pantheism to see what else we can derive out